Okay, yes, hi, I'm Tom Savini, and I want to say hi to all the readers of...
Thank you. Cool. Well, I am very interested in your directing career because you are preparing a new movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, could we talk a little bit about Night of the Living Dead?
Oh, night,
Your
sure.
remake, because it's a great remake. Now there are a lot of remakes, but yours has its own feelings, you know. How do you manage to construct this new
Well,
version?
okay. We knew that so many people saw the original movie, so I used that to manipulate them. For example, the first person in the cemetery, you think he's a zombie.
Yeah.
No, he's some guy, you know. But you expected that. So, oh my God, he's not the zombie. Then who is? And then the guy that comes out is surprising you. So that's strictly because everyone saw the original movie. Okay, so that was one thing. I wanted the actors to look very much like the original cast, except Barbara, you know, because I knew she was going to become a hero like Sigourney Weaver, and that's why, because I saw Sigourney Weaver in Alien. So I wanted a female hero, but George said, no, she died. And I said, no, we don't see her die. They just take her away. So can't she come back and help people? You know. So that's what we did. We made her, and George wrote the ending that you see in the film, simply because I said, can't she come back and help people? So you're getting basically the same movie, you know, and then you get a little bit of a sequel afterwards. And you would have gotten even more of the original movie. I wanted to begin in black and white, you know, as a homage to the first movie, and then slowly bring the coloring in to bring the new audience into it. But they didn't, I don't know, they didn't like that idea, you know. I wish I could have still done it, yeah.
It's a good idea.
It would have been great, yeah.
Well, for example, you talk about the female hero, Barbara. At the last scene, I love the scene that he's coming to the camera and all the zombies go around and she's frightening. It's an amazing scene.
Yeah, but it proves her point. You can walk right past them
Exactly.
because they're slow. George Romero sells bumper stickers that say "Fast Zombies Suck," okay? Because they're dead. They don't become superheroes. They're continuing to be dead. They're going to continue to rot, you know. But when they do a movie like 28 Days or the remake of Dawn of the Dead, you have to think the director, Zack Snyder, he had to think of some way to make them scarier.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with Night of the Living Dead. How do you make zombies scary again? Because you've had Michael Jackson's Thriller, you know, Joe Piscopo did a beer commercial with zombies. So Zack Snyder's choice was to make them run, and you know, which makes them faster. But Frankenstein doesn't run, and he's still scary. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Another great makeup.
Oh, the best.
Monster makeup. Well,
Did you watch the film
what?
Smoke and Mirrors?
Yeah.
Okay, so you saw in my bedroom there's a full-size Frankenstein.
Yeah.
I have posters of him everywhere because he's like the greatest monster to me.
Yeah, of course. This is one of the greatest. Well, talk me a little bit about Creepshow because it's a great movie that you've made a lot of kind of effects on that.
Yeah.
Which is your big challenge on that movie, and what is your inspiration for making
Yeah,
effects?
well, on Creepshow, the biggest challenge was the Fluffy, the
Yeah.
crate creature, because I had never done a animatronic creature before. I mean, today it would be CGI, you know, but the inspiration was, well, the script was not specific. The script said, we see a blur of fur and some teeth, okay? Well, that leaves it wide open. So I asked artist friends of mine to just make some sketches, and then I did some sketches, and we gave them all to Stephen King and George Romero, and they picked one of my sketches, and that's why he looks the way he looks, you know. Otherwise, he could have looked like one guy drew like an insect carrier. Another guy was an exact replica of a creature from the Black Lagoon, you know, with, you know, tentacles and stuff. So if they had picked one of those, then that's what Fluffy would have looked like. But luckily they picked one of mine. I still think he's too fat. You know, he should be, if he's in a crate for 125 years, I think he would be hungry, you know. So.
Any about?
Yeah, but somebody had to be inside that creature, so. But again, today it would have been, they would have scanned it and then it would have been a CGI creature.
Talking about the CGI, what are your feelings? Because you are a master of effects, and now we are having a rebirth of the practical effects.
Yeah.
What do you think about the CGI? And
I love it when they do it well, you know. But as you know, J.J. Abrams is doing puppets for Star Wars, you know. The B-88, that's real. But the sad thing is people will think it's CGI because it's so good. There should be some sort of an announcement or a list of everything that was practical in some article, maybe in your magazine, that lets people know that this is real, you know. When Evil Dead came out, you know, they bragged that there's no CGI, you know. So there is a collective dislike of it. And maybe it is coming back. And another interviewer was talking about how today the sensibility of the 80s, the splatter films, are coming back. And Eli Roth's Green
Maniac has a remake.
Same, that's a movie from the 80s, okay? So it's hard. It's like William Goldman wrote a book called Adventures in the Screen Trade. And it's about his experiences in Hollywood. And there's two things that he said that I remember from the book. One is, if there's one thing for sure in Hollywood, nothing is for sure. That's the rule. And the other one is that nobody knows anything about what people want. You can't predict what people want. And, I mean, did people want another Peter Pan movie? No, right? Because it failed miserably. Nobody wanted it. Why? I'm never going to see it, you know? So if they're predicting what they think people want, then you're going to fail miserably. It's a roll of the dice. Every time you make a movie, it's a roll of the dice. It's like a roulette wheel. You're taking a chance. And if they like it, Sharknado. Who the fuck thought Sharknado? There's 3 of them. It's the most ridiculous.
And they're far in the way.
It's the most ridiculous concept. But there are people that are thinking, why didn't I think of that, you know? You can't predict what people want. And that all comes from the Adventures in the Screen Trade, you know? Nobody knows what people want. Studios have failed because thinking they know, you know? Nobody knows.
Exactly. Talking about the strange things like Sharknado, what is the most strange thing that you live in your career?
What's the most strange thing that I've done?
That you done, and that you it's happened to you in your career.
Oh, well, there's been so many strange things. You mean as far as what I've created, as far as the makeup effects?
For example,
that's kind of an essay question. You got to sit around and you got to think about that one. You know, the strangest thing. I don't know. Nothing's coming into my head. The strangest thing.
And the strangest.
But it's all strange, isn't it? I mean, a creature in the crate under the steps eats people. That's pretty strange, you know. Zombies getting up off a table and their guts come out. That's kind of strange, you know.
And in your life?
It's kind of hard to pick a strangest one when everything is strange, you know. Yeah.
And in your life?
In my life, the strangest thing.
Maybe in a travel or in a festival or.
No, everything to me is, even the strange things are normal, you know. I mean, it takes a lot for something to really stand out. Well, Sharknado, I mean, that's ridiculous. Before that, I mean, look, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Who thought of that? Surf Nazis must die. You know, this is preposterous shit. But someone's thinking of it, you know. Like in my job, I don't write this stuff, you know. Stephen King or somebody else, you know, my job is just to look at the script and create it, you know, so, yeah. So it's not my job to come up with the strange things, but and I think that's frustrating for people to think, oh my God, you know, I went to film school, I'm studying to be an actor or something, and a guy comes up with Sharknado, and he's a millionaire. You know.
Yeah.
I went to Sean Cunningham's house recently, you know, because we're doing a Friday the 13th video game. They announced it only 2 days ago, and they've already raised $500,000. So obviously, people want to see or be Jason. You know, I don't think you want to be a camp counselor with having Jason chase you, but you have the choice. You can be one, okay? So here's Sean Cunningham, who came up with one idea, the idea of a killer, a serial killer in a camp, you know? And look how many times that's been, and you know, and that's the success of that went crazy. And it spawned many, you know, imitators, you know. But I was at his house and I'm thinking, oh my God, when we did that movie, Friday the 13th, I think the budget was like, you know, $300,000, and it made $72 million. So I read the reviews of Friday the 13th, and it says the star of this film is Tom Savini's effects. And I'm thinking, what did I get? I got a big screen TV, and he has this mansion with tennis courts, and you know, and people love it because it's my effect. Anyway, so that's about as frustrating as somebody thinking, oh my God, why didn't I think of Sharknado?
Yeah. Well, and you are acting, and would you see in another movie like an actor in the future?
Oh, for me?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, I live in Pittsburgh. There aren't many acting roles coming my way. I auditioned for The Outsiders, a TV show. I'm still trying to get into Game of Thrones, okay? And I'm constantly after Greg to put me in The Walking Dead, you know.
Oh, you need to appear.
Oh, I know. I mean, doesn't it make sense that I should be in that damn
Exactly,
show?
that makes sense.
I mean, didn't I propel Greg's career, you know? So shouldn't he help mine, you know? But it's a little frustrating because, you know, he's only one of the producers. There's a part that came up of I'm not allowed to name the character, but a character that's coming up, and he's a real mean, you know, kind of a prick guy. And I'm like, Greg, that's perfect for me. So he said, well, they have somebody else in mind for that. I can't say who the actor is, but it's now a famous actor. When the show first started, they didn't want any familiar faces, which is probably why I haven't been in it, you know, when they first started. But now they're hiring, well, there's a woman in the new season, Feldschuh, I can't think of her first name, a Jewish actor, and she's a familiar face. And the actor that they're thinking about to play this part is a prominent actor if they get him, okay? So he said, so they're thinking of a different actor, but it's good for you, for me, to now be on the radar of the other producers, okay? Because that could help, because that show's going to be on for a long time. So keep your eyes open. I might be on it soon, you know, I hope.
Well, I want to know what means for you doing the zombie movies years ago, and now be part of this great success of zombies now.
Yeah.
It's incredible because there are not zombie movies in that years.
Yeah.
You know, and now you take the complete travel.
I know. It's like, normally it comes in waves. There's like vampires, you know, the werewolves. We've seen all that. Psycho killers, you know. But it's, for some reason, the fans have made The Walking Dead and zombies like that's the big deal now. You know? Everybody wants to be a zombie for Halloween. Everybody wants to be, you know, in The Walking Dead, you know, perhaps. But you're right, there aren't that many. Well, Z Nation came up. They're trying to copy Walking Dead. I've not watched it, so I don't know if it's any good. Yeah. And I keep seeing some preview. Guys are in zombie makeup, but they're talking and they're making jokes. What the hell is that? I don't know what that is. You know, zombies, they're violating the myth.
The rule.
Yeah, they're violating, yeah. But who knows? Again, we don't know if that'll be a success or not, you know, so.
Yeah. Well, Tom, thank you for this.
Well, best of luck. Thanks for this.
Thank you.
Send me those pictures.
Of course.